Commander Jinwoo pushed himself through the dark corridors of the old mining station. His boots made soft sounds on the metal floor as he moved forward with his weapon ready. The emergency signal had been sending messages for 3 days before his ship found it. Now he was here alone, checking every room. The station was quiet and cold. Most of the lights were broken. Jinwoo could see his breath in the air. Something bad had happened here, but he needed to find out what. He reached the detention area and stopped. There was someone in one of the cells. A young woman sat in the corner with her knees pulled up to her chest. She looked human, but Jinwoo could see the thin silver lines that ran along her face and neck. Those markings meant she was part Valkyrie. The Valkyrie were the enemy. They had been fighting humans for years. The woman looked up when she heard his footsteps. Her eyes were afraid. "Please don't hurt me," she said. Her voice sounded almost human, but there was something else in it. Something musical like the Valkyrie. Jinwoo kept his weapon pointed down. "What's your name, Nari?" she whispered. "I know what you're thinking. I'm not pure human. I'm not pure Valkyrie either. Nobody wants me. How did you get here?" Nari stood up slowly. She was thin and looked like she had not eaten well for days. "The mining crew found me on a transport ship. When they saw what I was, they locked me up. They said they would hand me over to the authorities. But then the raiders came." "Raiders?" "Space pirates. They killed everyone and took everything valuable. They left me here because even pirates don't want something like me." She touched the silver markings on her face. "These marks tell everyone what I am. Half-breed, mistake, abomination." Jinwoo had never seen a human-Valkyrie hybrid before. The two species were so different that most people thought it was impossible, but here she was, proof that it could happen. "Why didn't the raiders just kill you?" he asked. "They thought it would be crueler to leave me here to die slowly." They were probably right. Suddenly, red lights began flashing throughout the station. An alarm started making loud warning sounds. Jinwoo's communication device came alive with urgent messages from his ship. "Commander, we have 3 pirate vessels approaching fast. They're armed and hostile." Jinwoo looked at Nari. "I have to go. My ship needs to leave before those pirates get here." "Wait," Nari said. "I can help you. The station's defense systems are still working, but they're damaged. The pirates disabled most of them, but not all. The defense systems won't work. Human and Valkyrie technology don't mix. The computers can't talk to each other." Nari stepped closer to the cell door. "They can if someone like me operates them. I can make them work together." Jinwoo hesitated. Everything he had been taught told him not to trust her. The Valkyrie were the enemy. They had destroyed human colonies and killed millions of people. But this woman was different. She was as much human as she was Valkyrie. "If I let you out, you could be lying. You could be working with those pirates." "Then why would I still be locked in this cell?" Nari asked. "If I was working with them, wouldn't I be free?"
Ow.
The station shook as the pirate ships got closer. Ship was fast, but not fast enough to outrun 3 pirates while carrying extra weight. "Please," Nari said. "I don't want to die here alone. You don't want to die fighting 3 ships when you could have help." Jinwoo made his decision. He opened the cell door. Nari ran to the nearest control panel. Her hands moved quickly over the buttons and screens. Jinwoo watched in amazement as systems that should not work together suddenly came alive. The hybrid woman seemed to understand both human and Valkyrie technology perfectly. "Defense grid coming." "Online," she said. "Targeting systems active. The pirates won't expect this." The first pirate ship exploded as the station's weapons hit it. The other 2 tried to run, but Nari had already locked onto them. Within minutes, all 3 pirate ships were destroyed. "How did you do that?" Jinwoo asked. "I don't really know," Nari admitted. "I can just feel how the systems want to work. Together, it's like speaking 2 languages at the same time." Jinwoo's communication device buzzed. "Commander, the pirate ships are gone. How did you manage that?" He looked at Nari, who was watching him with hopeful eyes. She had just saved his life and the lives of his crew, but bringing her aboard his ship would be against every rule and regulation in the human military. "I had help," he said into the device. "Prepare the shuttle bay. We're bringing someone aboard." Nari's eyes went wide. "You're taking me with you?" Saved my life, Ginwu said. That makes you part of my crew now. For the first time since he had found her, Nari smiled. It changed her whole face, making her look more human and less alien. Maybe Jinwu thought that was exactly what she was. The crew of the ship Rising Dawn did not welcome Nari. When she walked through the corridors, people stopped talking and stared. Some made disgusted faces when they saw her silver markings. Others whispered to each other about the alien thing that their commander had brought aboard. Chief Engineer Taemin was the worst. He refused to work in the same room as Nari. I won't have that creature near my engines, he told Jinwu. Who knows what she might do? She could be a spy. Navigator So-young was more polite, but just as unfriendly. She requested to be moved to a different ship. I can't work knowing there's a Valkyrie on board, she said. Even a half one. My brother died fighting them. Only Dr. Hannah, the ship's medical officer, showed Nari any kindness. She gave Nari a place to sleep and made sure she had food. Even Hana kept her distance, as if being too close might be dangerous. Nari spent most of her time alone in the communications room. Jinwu had given her a job there because her hybrid abilities were useful. She could understand signals that normal human equipment could not decode. At least here I'm doing something helpful, she told herself as she worked at the computer stations. The other crew members avoided the communications room when she was there. They would rather wait than work alongside her. Dented it. Did not hurt, but Jinwu could see the sadness in her eyes. Give them time, he told her. They'll see what I see. What do you see? Nari asked. Someone who saved my life. Someone who's trying to help. 3 days later, Nari was working late when she picked up a strange signal. It was coming from deep space, but it was not like anything she had ever heard before. The signal was coded. In a way that human computers could not understand, Nari's hybrid mind allowed her to feel the pattern of the code. It was Valkyrie, but very complex. She worked for hours, slowly breaking down the message piece by piece. When she finally understood what it said, her blood went cold. She ran to find Jinwu. He was in his quarters, reading reports from other ships. Nari burst through the door. Without knocking, Commander, you need to see this right away, she said, breathing hard. Wu looked up from his papers. What is it? I intercepted a Valkyrie transmission. It's bad, very bad. They went to the communications room together. Nari showed him the decoded message on her screen. Jinwu read it twice before he understood what it meant. This can't be right, he said. 12,000 ships? Yes, it's an invasion fleet. The biggest one they've ever sent. They're heading for the Kepler colonies. Jinwu felt sick. The Kepler colonies were home to over 50 million humans. They had some defenses, but nothing that could stop 12,000 Valkyrie warships. When will they arrive? He asked. Nari checked the message again. 6 days? Maybe less if they push their engines hard. Jinwu called an emergency meeting. All the senior officers came to the briefing room. Nari stood beside him as he explained what they had discovered. The room was silent when he finished. Chief Engineer Taemin was the first to speak. How do we know she's telling the truth? He asked, pointing at Nari. This could be a trap. Maybe she's working for them. Not. Working for anyone? Nari said quietly. I'm trying to help. Help. Taemin stood up. You're one of them. Why should we trust anything you say? Because I just gave you the only warning you're going to get, Nari replied. Human intelligence didn't pick up this signal. Your computers can't decode Valkyrie military codes. I'm the only one who can. Navigator So-young looked at the decoded message. If this is real, we need to warn the colonies immediately. It's real, Nari said. I can show you the original transmission. You can verify the source. Dr. Hannah studied the data on her tablet. The transmission patterns match known Valkyrie military frequencies. I think she's telling the truth. Jinwu looked around the room. We need to get this information to Fleet Command as fast as possible. Taemin, how quickly can we reach the nearest communication relay? Diamond was still staring at Nari with suspicion, but he answered the question. 18 hours at maximum speed. Do it, Ginwa ordered. Send the message to every ship in the sector. The colonies need time to prepare. As the meeting ended, the crew members filed out of the room. For the first time, they were not looking at Nari with pure hatred. Some still seemed suspicious, but others appeared thoughtful. So-young stopped at the door. "If you're lying about this," she told Nari, "a lot of people will die." "If I'm lying, they'll die anyway," Nari replied. "But I'm not lying. Wish I was." Later that night, Ginwoo found Nari in the communications room again. She was listening to more transmissions, trying to find additional information about the invasion. "The crew is starting to see you differently," he said. "Me. They just hate the idea of 50 million dead humans more." "It's a start," Ginwoo said. "You proved you're on our side today." Nari looked at him with tired eyes. "I don't know what side I'm on. I just know I don't want to see innocent people die." "That's exactly what side you're on," Ginwoo told her. "The right one." The message from Admiral Kyung-ho came through on the most secure channel. Ginwoo read it 3 times before he understood what it was asking him to do. His hands shook as he held the communication device. "Deliver the hybrid to Research Division 7 immediately. Do not inform the subject. Classification level, biological weapon development, is a direct order." Ginwoo sat in his small office staring at the message. Research Division 7 was where the military did their most secret experiments. Everyone knew stories about what happened there, but no one talked about it openly. Nari knocked on his door. "Commander, I have more information about the invasion fleet." "Come in," Ginwoo said, quickly hiding the message screen. Nari entered and sat down across from his desk. Over the past few days, she had become more comfortable around him. No longer jumped at every sound or watched the door like she expected someone to attack her. "I've been listening to more Valkyrie transmissions," she said. "The invasion is worse than we thought. They're not just attacking the Kepler colonies. They're planning to hit 12 different systems at the same time."
Ow.
Ginwoo tried to focus on what she was saying, but he kept thinking about the Admiral's order. How many ships total? Maybe 20,000? This isn't just an invasion. Want to end the war by destroying as many human worlds as possible? Nari stopped talking when she saw Jinwoo's expression. "What's wrong? You look sick?" Ginwoo looked at her silver markings, at her eyes that were trying so hard to look human. She had been helping them for days. She'd warned them about the invasion. She had probably saved millions of lives. "Nari," he said slowly, "if someone ordered me to hurt you, what would you think?" She was quiet for a long moment. "I would think that person was afraid of what I might do, or what I might know. And what would you want me to do?" "I would want you to make your own choice, not because someone told you to, but because of what you think is right." Jinwoo's communication device buzzed again. Another message from the Admiral. Confirm receipt of previous order. Compliance required within 24 hours. Nari saw the message on the screen before Jinwoo could hide it. Her face went pale as she read the words. "They want to experiment on me," she said. "Not going to let that happen. You don't have a choice. He's an admiral. You have to follow orders." Jinwoo stood up and walked to the small window that looked out into space. "I became a soldier to protect people, not to hand them over to be cut apart in a laboratory. They think I'm dangerous. Maybe they're right. You're the least dangerous person on this ship. You've done nothing but help us." Nari moved to stand beside him at the window. "What will you do?" "I'm going to refuse the order. That will make you an enemy of your own people. They'll hunt you down, and we better make sure they don't catch us." Jinwoo called his senior officers to the briefing room. When they arrived, he showed them the Admiral's message. The room was silent as they read it. Chief Engineer Taemin was the first to speak. "This is insane. They want to turn her into a weapon?" "That's what Research Division 7 does," Dr. Hana said quietly. "They take things apart to see how they work. Usually the subjects don't survive." Navigator Saw Young looked at Nari. "What do you want to do?" "I don't want to be experimented on," Nari said. "But I don't want all of you to become criminals because of me." "Too late for that," Jinwoo said. "I'm refusing the order. Anyone who wants to leave can take a shuttle to the nearest station." None of the officers moved. "We're with you, Taemin," said what she did, warning us about the invasion. "That saved a lot of lives. We owe her." Jinwoo felt proud of his crew, but also worried. "This means we're going rogue. We'll be hunted by our own fleet." "Where will we go?" So-young asked. "Away from human space?" "At least until we can figure out what to do next," as they prepared to leave. Nari, accessed the military communication network one last time. She wanted to see if there were any updates about the invasion. What she found made her heart stop. "The invasion has started," she announced to the bridge crew. "Kepler-7 is gone. The Valkyrie destroyed everything. 30 million people are dead." The bridge was silent. Everyone stared at the screens showing the destruction of the colony. Entire cities had been burned from orbit. There were no survivors. Nari stood in the middle of the bridge looking at the images of death and destruction. Her silver markings seemed to glow brighter in the light from the screens. "This is my fault," she whispered. "I exist because some Valkyrie warrior took a human prisoner 20 years ago. I'm the proof that this war was always going to happen." "Not true," Jinwoo said. "Look at me," Nari said, touching her face. "These markings show what the Valkyrie do to humans. I'm a reminder of every human they've captured, every family they've destroyed. Maybe the Admiral is right. Maybe I should be locked up." "You didn't start this war," Jinwoo said firmly. "But maybe you're the key to ending it." "How? I don't know yet. But I know that keeping you safe is the right thing to do." Their ship jumped into hyperspace, leaving human territory behind. They were now fugitives, hunted by their own people. But Jinwoo had no regrets. Some things were more important than following orders. The Valkyrie flagship looked like a living creature floating in space. Its dark hull moved and pulsed like it was breathing. Strange lights traveled along its surface in patterns that hurt human eyes to watch. The ship was called Death's Glory, and it was the largest warship anyone had ever seen. Jin-Woo and Nari had sneaked aboard during a battle. Between human and Valkyrie forces, their small ship had hidden among the wreckage of destroyed vessels. Now they were inside the enemy flagship, walking through corridors that felt more like the inside of a giant animal than a spaceship. "I can feel him," Nari whispered, as they moved through the dark passages. "My father, he's close." Jinwoo checked his weapon. They had been walking for an hour, following Nari's strange ability to sense other Valkyrie. The ship was huge, with thousands of corridors and rooms. Without her guidance, they would have been lost forever. "Are you sure about this?" Jinwoo asked. "We could still turn back. This is the only way to stop the war. I have to face him." They reached a massive door that was covered in symbols that looked like they were carved from bone. Nari placed her hand on the door and it opened. Silently, inside was a circular room with a high ceiling. In the center stood the largest Valkyrie that Jinwoo had ever seen. High Commander Valtar was over 7 feet tall. His skin was dark gray and covered in silver markings that moved like living tattoos. His eyes were completely black, and when he spoke, his voice made the air itself vibrate. "My genetic mistake has returned," he said in perfect human language. "Wondered when you would come crawling back." Nari stepped forward, but Jinwoo could see her hand shaking. "Father, do not call me that. You are an abomination. A pollution of pure Valkyrie blood. I should have killed you when you were born." "Then why didn't you?" Valtar walked around them in a slow circle. "I was curious. I wanted to see what such a creature would become. Now I know. You have helped the humans fight against your own kind. Hey there." "Not my kind," Nari said. "You made sure of that when you abandoned me. And yet here you are aboard a Valkyrie ship standing beside a human soldier. You have chosen your side." Jinwoo raised his weapon, but Valtar moved faster than anything that large should be able to move. Jinwoo struck Jinwoo's chest, sending him flying across the room. Jinwoo hit the wall hard and fell to the floor, blood flowing from deep cuts. "Jinwoo." Nari ran to him, but Valtar's voice stopped her. "Leave him. He is dying anyway. You have more important matters to consider." Nari knelt beside Jinwoo, pressing her hands against his wounds to stop the bleeding. His eyes were closed, and his breathing was shallow. "I can save him, Valtar," said Valkyrie. "Medical technology is far superior to human medicine. I can heal his wounds completely. What do you want, join me? To help me finish what we started. The human resistance is almost broken. With your abilities, you could access their remaining defense systems. You could end this war in hours instead of months." Nari looked down at Jinwoo. Blood was flowing between her fingers, despite her efforts to stop it. "You are half Valkyrie," Veltar continued. "That cannot be changed. But you could be something great. You could be the bridge between our species, with the Valkyrie as the dominant race, of course, and the humans. The survivors would serve us, as they should. Your human contamination could be ... If you prove your worth by helping us achieve total victory." Jinwoo's eyes opened slightly. He looked up at Nari and managed a weak smile. "Whatever you choose," he whispered, "choose it for yourself. Not because of what anyone else wants you to be." Nari felt tears on her face. "You're dying because of me." "No," Jinwoo said softly. "I'm dying because I chose to fight for something worth fighting for. You get to make your own choice now." Veltar stepped closer. "The human will be dead within minutes, but you could save him. You could save yourself. All you have to do is help me finish destroying the human fleet." Nari looked at her father. He was everything she had imagined when she was a child: powerful, commanding, and completely without mercy. He represented half of what she was, but he had never wanted her. Then she looked at Jinwoo, who was still smiling despite his pain. He had risked everything to protect her. He had never asked her to be anything other than herself. He had given her the first real choice she had ever had. "I've made my decision," Nari said, standing up slowly. "Wise choice. Now access the human communication systems and send them a surrender message." "No," Nari said. "I choose humanity. Not because of my genetics, but because one human showed me what it means to protect someone who cannot protect themselves." Black eyes blazed with anger. "Then you will die with them." "Maybe. But at least I'll die as myself, not as what you wanted me to be." Nari placed her hands on the communication console near the wall. Her hybrid abilities allowed her to access both Valkyrie and human systems simultaneously. But instead of sending a surrender message, she began broadcasting something else entirely: the truth. Nari's voice echoed through every ship in both fleets. Her hybrid nature let her broadcast on frequencies that both humans and Valkyrie could hear clearly. Thousands of soldiers on both sides stopped what they were doing to listen. "I am Nari," she said, her voice steady despite the danger. "I am the daughter of High Commander Veltar and a human prisoner named Min Young. I am half human, half Valkyrie. I have been rejected by both species, but I choose to speak the truth." On the bridge of Death's Glory, Veltar lunged toward the communication console, but Naria had already locked the system. Her hybrid abilities made it impossible for pure Valkyrie technology to shut her out. "You know nothing, child," Veltar snarled. "I know you started this war by attacking civilian colonies," Nari continued broadcasting. "I know you ordered the murder of human children on Kepler 3. I know you have been lying to your own people about human aggression." Jinwoo, still bleeding on the floor, watched as Nari accessed files from the ship's computer system. Her hands moved across controls that should have been impossible for anyone to operate, pulling up records that Veltar had kept hidden. "The humans never attacked first," Nari broadcast. "Every battle began with Valkyrie ships destroying peaceful settlements. High Commander Veltar has been collecting human prisoners for genetic experiments. He has been trying to create hybrid soldiers to use as weapons." The reaction was immediate. On Valkyrie ships throughout the fleet, junior commanders began questioning their orders. Many had believed they were fighting a defensive war against human invaders. Learning that their own leader had started the conflict changed everything. "She lies." Veltar roared, but his voice was not being broadcast. Only Nari had control of the communication system. "I am the proof of his crimes," Nari said. "I exist because he took my mother prisoner and used her in his experiments. There. Are others like me? He has been creating hybrids for 20 years, planning to use us as weapons against both species." On human ships, commanders who had been preparing for a final desperate battle suddenly found themselves receiving messages from Valkyrie vessels.
Ow.
Some were asking for temporary ceasefires. Others were demanding to speak with their human counterparts. Nari pulled up more files from the ship's database. The High Commander has been planning to eliminate the moderate voices in his own government. After defeating humanity, he intended to start wars with other alien species. He believes only the strongest should survive, and he believes only he should decide who is strong. Veltar finally reached the communication console, but when he tried to shut it down, the system shocked him with enough electricity to throw him backward. Nari had turned the ship's own defenses against him. "I choose humanity," Nari said, "not because I am half human, but because humans showed me what it means to choose for yourself. Commander Jinwoo could have handed me over to his superiors for experiments. Instead, he protected me. He gave me the freedom to decide who I wanted to be." Jinwoo tried to sit up, but his wounds were too severe. "Nari," he whispered. She looked down at him. "I know what I have to do. The human fleets are responding," she broadcast. "They are offering to accept surrender from any Valkyrie commanders who wish to stop fighting. They're offering medical aid to wounded Valkyrie soldiers. They are proving that they are better than the lies you have been told about them." Half the Valkyrie fleet had already stopped shooting. Ship after ship was sending messages to the human commanders, asking for terms of surrender or requesting permission to return home. Veltar got back to his feet, silver markings glowing with rage. "I will kill you myself, abomination," Jinwoo said, somehow finding the strength to stand. His plasma rifle was damaged, but he could still hold it. "She's under my protection. You are dying, human. You cannot protect anyone. But I'm not alone." The doors to the command chamber opened and a dozen figures entered. Half were human soldiers in combat armor. Half were Valkyrie warriors with their weapons lowered. They had come together following Nari's broadcast. "High Commander Veltar," one of the Valkyrie said, "you are under arrest for war crimes against both species. You cannot arrest me. I am your superior." "Not anymore," the Valkyrie warrior replied. "The council has heard the evidence. It voted to remove you from command." Nari finally stepped away from the communication console. Her broadcast had reached every corner of both fleets. The truth was out, and it could not be taken back. "War is over," she announced to both fleets. "But the peace is just beginning." 3 months later, Nari stood on the bridge of a new ship. It was neither human nor Valkyrie, but something built by both species working together. Jinwoo was beside her, his wounds healed by Valkyrie medical technology. "The joint colonies are reporting success," she told him. "Humans and Valkyrie are learning to work together. It's slow, but it's working. And you?" Jinwoo asked. "Have you found where you belong?" Nari looked out at the stars, her silver markings, caught the light from the nearest sun. "I'm not human, not Valkyrie. I'm something new, something that both species helped create." "Is that enough?" she smiled. "It's enough for me. It's enough for the future we're building."